When I'm not training, I'm studying. And I have the folks that I follow on YouTube, or YouTube suggests the videos for me, and I'm looking at them, and what I find is you'll pick one tip up here, and one tip up here, and one tip up here, which applies to becoming that spiritual warrior in training, is learning and observing and hearing. So what is your walk like? What techniques are you using? What is your spiritual practice? Looking maybe not for a wholesale change, but looking for that one tip, one tip. One tip. So there's this one YouTube channel that I follow, and it's a father and a son. And both of them, they teach different techniques and different things like this. So on this one here, there was, I think it was a type of kick or something that they were showing and illustrating. So the father asked his son, he says, okay, so what's the first thing you do before you throw the kick? And the son says, I look or I focus on my target. Now, in the summer of 2009, when I started to receive what I call my version of the 10 Commandments, which I call Geometryxs, which is the circles and the triangles, and I'm sure just about all of you have seen them either virtually or in person. One of the first ones I received, I call it the coffee shop of your awareness. And it's the platform that I use to teach about focus. And you see, this is the one tip that I picked up from this particular video, and then actually just this morning I used that tip in my training, and holy smokes, what a difference. So the tip was focus on your target. Now, when I'm working out on this kind of the long bag, the long heavy bag, one of the things I work on is it's a roundhouse kick. So I see how high I can kick on the bag. And in the past, I would go, okay, let's see how high, and I practiced a technique I can kick on the bag. But today what I did was, and again, I've trained enough that my body kind of knows what to do. But today what I did was I focused on where I wanted to kick the bag, right? So here's my awareness. I'm aware of the technique. I've been practicing the technique, so I've kind of got that foundation, right? And now, before I threw the kick, I focused on where I wanted in this case, it was my right foot, or the shin really, where I wanted it to contact the bag. So I focused on that, and then I just threw the kick. And I allowed my foot to simply just go to the target. And then my body just did what it needed to do so it could go to the target. In this case, the target was about here. It was about head level for me. So what I call the coffee shop of my awareness, you're in a coffee shop. And there's tables in the coffee shop, and the coffee shop is full, and everybody's talking and laughing and different things like that. So you're aware of everyone and everything in the coffee shop. You could call it soft focus. So I'm just kind of aware of everything. And then what you do is, you maybe hear a word or something from a table over there, from a conversation over there, and you go, oh, what are they talking about? Now what you do is you take that focus, that general awareness, if you want to call it that, and what you do is you hone it in, right? Think of it as a floodlight or a spotlight. So you hone in your focus on that conversation. And have you ever noticed when you do that, you can pretty much hear what they are saying, even though they're not speaking any louder? Why? Because you've taken your energy, your awareness, from just a general soft focus, and now you've taken that same focus, that same awareness, and you've just focused it right into that pinpoint of what you want to have become bigger in your experience. You see, and as a spiritual warrior, one of the skills you're going to have to master, and a better way to say that is you're continually mastering, right? Because we don't ever master anything. We're in the process of mastering. That's one of the key sort of characteristics of a true master is they know they're not. Right? One of the key characteristics of a true master is they know that they don't know everything. They know that they can always get better, and they are looking for that one thing, right? Out of their awareness, oh, what's that thing? I focus on it. I can use that. So you need to develop that skill of soft focus, okay? But then to be able to hone in on what you want to become a bigger aspect of this present moment experience, just like I did with kicking that heavy bag. What is it that you desire? Out of all the things, the things you daydream about, you fantasize about, all these type of things, and that's great, soft focus, right? So now pick, what is the one thing? What is the one thing? What is the one thing that you just want to focus in on? You hold that, right? Because as you hold your focus on that, then your being, body, mind, spirit, will naturally do what it needs to do to make that happen. I focused at that spot on the bag that my foot was going to hit, and then I just simply kicked the bag. I wasn't focused on all the other things my body needed to do that. I built the skills, right? You got to build those foundations. You got to build those basic foundational principles. But from that, then you earn the privilege of being able to pick one thing and just focus on that and hold that. See, in my case, it was a spot on the bag. That was pretty easy because it's physical. The real challenge when you're a warrior is you're focusing on something that's not out here. You're focusing on a thought. You're focusing on an image. You're focusing on a picture or a movie in your mind. But as you build that skill, as you hone that skill of all these possibilities, being able to choose one and hold your focus on it, it's so incredibly powerful, because then all the other things that need to take place to bring that into fruition here will do just kind of what they naturally needed to do. I didn't have to tell my hips to turn the right way. I didn't even have to tell my foot to point the right way. I didn't even have to tell all these different things, because I built the fundamental skills, right? But I focused on the target, and the rest took care of itself.